What's up, everybody? Anthony here, Empire Music, empiremusic.com. Phone number at the shop, 412-343-5299. Today showing you super cool Ernie Ball Music Man. It's not a Stingray, it's a DarkRay. Tell you why that is. A lot of you out there might know what that is, but this is just a super cool Ball Family Reserve instrument here. What that means is it's limited to 75 worldwide. We're lucky enough here at Empire Music in Pittsburgh, PA to have gotten one, and it's awesome. It's beautiful. I mean, you look at it, the looks are just absolutely stunning. Sonically, it offers so much. I say this in all these videos that I do with Ernie Ball stuff. The more I play them, the more I start to understand them. I was lucky enough to purchase one of the Pinot Palladinos, so I get some time in my personal time to sit down with them and spend more time with it. A lot of time we're talking about here. And I've done some recording sessions with it, and I've played it through my various amps and my pedal board. So you're kind of learning what those instruments and an instrument like this kind of wants to give you and how you can react to it and kind of fit it into what you do, or in the case of looking inward into what I do musically. And I've been really into it. Every chance I get to pick up a Stingray, or in this case a DarkRay, I do, just because I'm learning something new every single time. And they're just really nice, exquisite looking, feeling instruments, whether we're talking about something classic or we're talking about something very modern, as we are here with this Ball Family Reserve DarkRay. So first off, we take a look at the finish on it. It's in Grapes of Wrath, right? It's a fitting name because it certainly has some grape or purple characteristics to it. I think the Wrath part of that's pretty cool, because as you could hear in the intro there, playing with I think that's the alpha circuit on the DarkRay. So there's two distortion circuits on that. That's a cool little, I think, a nice play on the Wrath part of the name. So Grapes of Wrath is the finish. Beautiful flame maple, figured maple top with this gorgeous blue-green burst out to the purple. I love this on instruments. I think anytime there's an exotic top instrument that doesn't have this, it's a miss. Every time, right? Some type of binding or veneer, whatever you want to call it, little strip there. In this case, it's flame maple, and that looks really good. That looks really good because you have this non-colored stripe on that, leading back to this metallic purple on the back. So you really have a lot going on visually there. You see the little DarkRay or Darkglass emblem there on the contoured neck heel. 5-bolt system, super stable feeling. I really like that. It allows the energy transfer from fretting hand and note and resonance to kind of come down through the body very evenly. And then getting into the pickup here, so we have the neodymium magnet humbucker here. And the nice thing about the Music Man, and I say this about the P-Bass, is you get that one pickup. It's made the choice for you as far as where that pickup placement's gonna be, right? You're not switching between 2 or sometimes 3 different pickup configurations. It's just right there, so you have to move your hand around a lot to pull out different tones. But obviously, being in this position, it wants to give you that mid-range forward, very searing kind of mid-range frequency that I think is a defining characteristic of any Stingray, or in this case, like I said, DarkRay. So the neodymium magnet, generally speaking, I interpret that as the brighter of the two. If we're like saying, taking ceramic kind of out of it, because I don't know a lot of the USA stuff that has a ceramic magnet in it. It probably exists, so I'm sure someone's going to crush me in the comment section for saying that, but still being kind of a new player in the Music Man world here. Not something that I know. I generally think of the Sterling stuff like that. I own one of those Joe Dart Sterlings that has a ceramic magnet in it. So separating that, of the two main magnets that I've seen out of the Stingray stuff, we have the neodymium or the Alnico, which is what the Pinot Palladino has in it. The Alnico is certainly a more vintage, warmer top end, not quite as warmer top end's kind of a weird way to say that. Less pointed kind of top end, has a little bit more roundness to it, even at the higher frequencies. But there's a time and a place for it, and this doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do something vintage Stingray with this. You got to kind of finesse it out of it. It's obviously gonna speak, you know, everything flat, a little bit more on the hi-fi side of it, right? A little less woolly, a little less warm than what I've experienced out of the Alnico stuff. And again, preamp, we can kind of change that around. Ebony fretboard on it. As always, the beautiful, beautiful fretwork that we're seeing off production level stuff here. It's just gorgeous. 11-inch radius, 22 frets. They're stainless steel frets. That's cool. That's a nice, they're not going to wear. It doesn't take a lot to wear these frets out. And then the roasted maple, just one of the consistent things that I see from the Ernie Ball stuff is just these beautiful roasted maple necks. You see some flame up here on the headstock. It really comes out when you see the tint kind of get on that. But you have the satin poly here. And then that's like, not gone, but really worn down to a beautiful satin finish. I don't think it's a high gloss headstock. No, it's kind of like a matte headstock, but you have the high gloss poly on the body here. So it's like high gloss, very, let's call it satin here. And then you have like matte on the headstock. It's gorgeous. I said it before, I'll say it again. I love these tuners. I mean, other than maybe the lollipop tuners that we see, and that's just a visual thing. These feel so good. They're so substantial in this kind of tapered, they thin out as they get to the exterior of the tuner. They look basic Clover tuners, but they really, really, really feel good. And these Purple Atlante, if I'm even saying that right, Atlante inlays on it, which are just gorgeous. I mean, it really brings the purple, some of the blues and some of the grays out as you move up the neck. On the ebony, it just looks really, really beautiful. So, you know, from looks perspective, from a feel perspective, 10 out of 10, exactly what I would expect. Sonically, what we have going on there. So, 3 position switch here. And what's going on there? We're in kind of clean position here, position 1. I'm not gonna make the same mistake like I made in my Tim Comerford video where I reversed the positions. I said the right things, but I reversed the positions. Position 1, position 2, position 3. And you'll see as I do that, this little light lights up, right? So that's that Darkglass circuit. So what's going on here in clean is you have a 2-band EQ, treble and bass with a detent knob. So it's not like the old school stuff where there's no detent. It's hard to know where that middle position is, and they're not boost only. Again, I'll reference another mistake I made when I made the Pinot video, assuming that they were boost only, but it's actually, there actually is a middle position on those preamps, to the best of my knowledge. I've been playing that bass for a while, and I'm yet to figure out where exactly that's at, but that's okay. So here you have the detent position, so you're boosting or cutting. 18 volt preamp in there too, so tons of headroom, a lot of volume if you need it, right? So that's in clean, right? So really ignore these 2 knobs, volume, 2-band EQ. I love a 2-band EQ. I think it's nice. Take some of that mid-selection muddiness as far as decision making out, and it keeps that modern kind of sound there, and it keeps that mid-range presence. I said that the wrong way. I sometimes think of the modern sound as a scoop sound. You don't really have that option. Although adjusting bass and treble does essentially affect the way the mid-range speaks, I find, in a 2-band EQ. But it keeps that inherent sound quality that I like out of a Stingray always present, right? And that's mid-range. I really, really like that about these basses, whether it be a Stingray or a DarkRay. The mid-range to me is where the beauty lies in this model. And I really can't get enough of it when I'm playing it, and it fits. So 2-band EQ, volume, cool. We move to position 2, so middle position. See the red light come on, right? Now we've engaged the Darkglass Electronics, and we'll walk through all these positions in a minute. This is on the alpha circuit. And then we go to position 3, it's blue, that's the omega circuit. So those are 2 different distortion circuits. And then you have a blend and a gain. So these 2, so the one with the light is blending in that distortion signal, the affected signal, the DarkRay signal in with your clean signal. And then this is the gain control. we'll walk through some of the things that this has been a carryover, because this is the second time I've done a video on the DarkRay, and I've played quite a few of them. And I'm familiar with the Darkglass stuff as I do own some Darkglass gear, and I like it. I always like the distortion circuits on the Darkglass stuff, overdrive, distortion, whatever it is. I do tend to really, really like some of that stuff. So I am familiar with it. So I have some settings that I generally do like, but we're going to stick with clean for right now. We're not going to spend a ton of time on clean because it's a DarkRay. It's not a Stingray. So, we really want to focus on the things that make this unique. In clean, this is like a lot of other Stingrays, pickup-wise, preamp-wise, not look-wise. That's a whole other ball of wax there, but it's incredible. Looks separating itself from some of the, even though they're always beautiful, this thing's just over the top gorgeous, man. I love this finish. So, clean. Let's dive into some of that, and we'll move our hand around and let you hear. I'm going to say this again, and this is the way I think of it, and if I'm wrong or someone disagrees with it, so be it. It's just how I think of a Music Man as I get more familiar. Opposite of a P-bass, because the P-bass, I want to play up here where the pickup is, right? And I think that's that tone, that's that big, full, extended bass tone. Here, I want to play over the pickup here. It just makes sense. We pull out that mid-range tone. So it's the same as a P-bass, like I said earlier, in that you have one pickup, but you're moving your hand to dictate the tone. So a lot of it's up to the player. But it's the opposite of a P-bass because you have the pickup in the different position. It wants to give you over that tighter string tension and all that mid-range sound. Again, I think the P-bass is kind of the opposite of that. And that's why I love getting a chance to do these videos. I'm very lucky to be able to sit in this chair and talk to you guys about basses. If you have any questions at all on anything, again, phone number of the shop, 412-343-5299. Let's dive into some sounds. So clean, EQ, two-band EQ set totally flat. Right, mid-range, very, very focal mid-range. It's just natural. We start to move our hand up though, not changing anything on the EQ circuit. The inherent quality of the instrument's still there, but now we've changed to a rounder sound. We've moved up. We're attacking. Our hand is interacting with the string, and there's much less tension on there, and that's transmitting out through the pickup. It still has the same Stingray quality. Again, same way as a P-bass. If we play up here, you're over that pickup. We move back here, we've added that mid-range kind of thing, faking its way kind of into this sound, but we're kind of going at it the opposite way, right? Because you have that pickup in the front there. So really like thinking about these as the polar opposite of a P-bass, but both can be really powerful in a mix. One's a little less traditional, I'd say, but that's okay. That's fine. They both have their merits, right? So now let's get into a little boosted bass. I think a lot of players are going to boost bass and leave treble right at the middle position. See if I didn't go too far here. No, that just adds that little extra bit of support underneath of all that mid-range. Back to flat. Slightly boosted bass. I like that with a pick too, because you're adding you're adding something artificial here, not the pads of your fingers as you play. So adding that little bit of bass into it. It's a great pick tone. I mean, it really is right away. It just does an awesome pick sound. back to flat. Here that kind of gets a little, not weaker, but I mean, it definitely doesn't have the support factor to it that it has when we boost that bass a little bit. Now we can boost some treble too, and really get that hi-fi thing going on. Be awesome if we had some distortion on that, wouldn't it? We do. Instantly, I get energized, like hearing that. You know, it just makes you want to dig into the instrument a little bit more because it's such a great distortion tone. Roll some of those highs back a little bit here. I like boosting bass a bit. Now I'll tell you where I have this on here too. I don't want to lose it. So gains, probably I lost it. We're gonna regain this from the gain knob. Actually, let's go back to clean. Let's get there together, right? So I'm gonna boost that treble back up a bit. Okay, cool. So let's go to position 2, the alpha circuit. I like this alpha circuit. So now we're gonna jump right into kind of what I dig in the Darkglass settings was. I like this alpha circuit as the more aggressive circuit to me. I don't know what the intentions are for it. I don't particularly care. Any pedal or any sound or any bass in general, really any instrument, use it how you like it, find some sounds that work for you and just go for it, right? That's the best advice that I could give someone. I like this as the more aggressive sound, so I want to blend this pretty strong. It's almost there immediately. So I'm about 80% blended on the dirty side. Gain all the way up there. That's a little much for me. Lighten that up. Let's go about 60 on the gain. A little less on the gain. I'm gonna roll some treble back. Killing, crushing. It's so good. Such a nice, just a big, let me say it's a rock sound. It's just a really good distorted bass sound. It's not missing any bottom end. Check out the comparison here. So we'll go just clean, adding in the alpha. Like there's no drop in bass there. You're still in a real supportive role, which is awesome. Even if we go to like palm mute on that. Love that. Now, we move into the Omega circuit on this. So here, if I leave that as it sits right there, let's listen to it. It's a boxier, more, to me, again, it's just how I interpret it, more mid-range centric, not quite as lively of a distortion circuit. So what I like to do with this Omega circuit is turn the blend down a little bit and gain down a little bit. Let's see where we're at. Blend up, so let's say blend's about 50, blend's probably about 60. I was at 80 on the alpha. Say we're gonna go blend on 60. There you go. So now we're almost into kind of overdrive territory with that. And I got that about, so I got gain about 40, 50 maybe. All right, so what's cool about this, I like adding a little bit of bass extra on that. Add a little definition with some treble. Killing. Again, now that reminds me like you're hitting an amp with some juice. You know, I feel like we're more into like an overdrive sound there, but it has definition to it. It's not quite as crunchy, a little bit woolier, a little bit fuzzier, not like a fuzz, but woolier, furrier kind of thing, just with a little bit of grit on it. Ah, bad note. One of many. Moving the fingers. So let's go clean, right? Then into the Omega. Very searing, just like cut on that. Really cool. Now, what's really nice about this sound too, if you don't love, I think oftentimes with the neodymium pickup, is there can be a level of sterility in the sound. You don't get that as much with the Alnico stuff, but the neodymium, very, very bright sound right out of the box. Just using this, so if we even blend less and turn the gain down, right? So let's say we're doing something slap, something you wouldn't normally think of with overdrive or distortion on it, right? And here we're in clean. Right? You know, it has its sound to it. You're not going to go away from that. There's that mid-range presence, instantly get from this pickup, from the position of it, that isn't always it's not bad, but it's not a typical kind of slap sound we think of like a jazz bass or something like that. What's really, not that we're getting into that, but I think using this Omega circuit to just tame a little bit of that and add some, not grit, but like just a little saturation to it. Can even turn the gain back a little less, turn it back more. That's such a crushing slap sound. I'm flipping between keys there and I don't know why. Stick to A. That would be my clean sound with this bass. I'm not even kind of joking, but I don't think I'm joking. I think if I had this bass or I had a DarkRay, that would be my clean sound, because I go for that all the time with pedals and things. You hear listen to like an old Motown recording. I know we're talking about something very different there. Like that bass ain't clean, man. You know what I mean? Like that old school stuff where you're hitting a board with some juice and it's imperfect. gives it so much character. We're talking about like some saturation, whether it's tape or tube saturation, whatever it is. There's something imperfect about that. And I love this Omega circuit on this to get that. I mean, it's just so good. It's so good. Now here's back to the clean. And then back to that Omega. So that would be my clean. And then I'd go for the heavy stuff, increase both things. Totally crushing. Love this bass. I love the Darkglass preamp in this thing. I can almost ignore position one. I'm serious about that. Like, you get a Stingray for that sound. Get the Darkglass, man. Add that vibe and that extra little bit of juice to the instrument is just so good. So we're talking about today, Ball Family Reserve, limited to only 75 ever being made worldwide. We're lucky here at Empire Music to have one. The Ball Family Reserve. So I almost said Stingray, then I almost said Dark, and it just came out in some weird way there. Ball Family Reserve DarkRay, and it's incredible. Grapes of Wrath finish. It looks beautiful. Sounds super aggressive. Sounds super clean and pristine if you want it to. But I think there's two little secrets there. And maybe they're not secrets, but to me, there's two sounds that I really, really like. A slightly saturated sound out of the Omega circuit, and then your high gain, kind of distorted crunch out of the Alpha circuit. It's exceptional. Any questions at all? Feel free to call me at the shop, 412-343-5299. You can also email me directly to Anthony@empiremusic.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.